Happy Sunday. Hi, I'm Clayton Allen, host of the Day Trading Plumber podcast and founder of Allen FX Signal Services. So, on episode 24 of the podcast, I mentioned I was going to do a quick video on where we're taught to set our stop losses and take profits. And sometimes those take profits are a little overzealous or driven by our we got to have a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And then we're taught to put our stop losses all in the same spots, and we all get stopped out at the same place. Now, if you followed me long enough, typically when I first open a trade on a pair, I will not use a stop loss. It's part of my money management system to have a small enough position where, you know, a tight stop loss really isn't needed. Excuse me. But some of you out there, diehard stop loss, must have it. So when you go back to the copy machine at work and price moves against you, you feel a little comfort inside and safe, warm and cozy that you're not going to blow up your count. But you've probably gotten used to taking lots and lots of little losses, and then when you do get a win, you hope it's big enough to pay those off. Well, I'm going to show you something a little different today, and hopefully, it's definitely going to be controversial. One thing that I always say in my podcast is if the statistics are real, and they are, if 95% of retail traders lose all their money, why would you do what everyone else is doing? So let's jump on the charts, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, so I have British pound, US dollar open. I've turned off my indicators. We'll turn them on. I'll show you guys really quick what I do. And obviously, trade ideas are going to change based on the time frame you're on. So on the daily here, one of the things I like to do, if you watch my Sunday setups, is I post support and resistance zones on the daily chart, so I kind of have a grasp on a higher time frame what's going on. Sorry. There we go. So I know these are huge and not very precise. One of the things that I tell traders is once you learn to quit trying to be so perfect, and this kind of falls true with setting stop losses and take profits. Once you learn that you cannot control the market, let the market do what it's going to do. All you can control is how you react to it. And quit trying to be so precise. I know trading is numbers, and it's very exact and mathematical, and mathematics is precise. There is only one right answer. However, in trading, trying to be too precise is exactly what gets you lots of losses, no confidence in your trading, and, basically is a driving factor of that very large statistic that most people lose in this game. So, let's take a quick look. So if let's say I'm a busy guy, and I'm a true believer in support and resistance. And I just saw price break this support, right? You have a really, really small support zone going on right here. We would have called that bearish, but now that we've broke it, that's kind of, historically and technically what we're waiting for now. If I could zoom in, let's make it a little stretchier. Hopefully you guys can see that, right? This was support, and remember, these are daily candles, and now we have this strong bearish candle. We have almost that retest, and then it's gone bearish again. So let's get rid of that whole thing. So this historically tells us this is going to be the direction that price is going to go. Possibly down to here. We'll get into that next. our brains tell us, wow, this is going to be an awesome trade. It's going to come all the way back down to this area here, the last time price had a big turnaround. And it very well could. It's going to take a long time. And this is where patience comes into play. So, more or less, what will happen is we're going to get some sort of retest, solid pullback here. We don't know where, but this is a higher probable trade. If we could get price to come back up, retest this former support, confirm its new resistance, that is a higher probability trade. Now, let's go ahead and say that's what we're going to do. So we're going to put a short position on if price comes back up here. Now, our brain wants to tell us that's where we want to take profit. We are taught to put our stop loss all the way up here above the highs, because we want to give it room. Now, what I'm going to tell you guys, that's a big loss if you take it from up here. Now, I'm going to show you guys what I do, and it's hard to show you with this tool, is let's just pretend there's no stop loss, period. We're going to take this trade, and because we have the power and confidence in our system over lots and lots of years and trades of doing it, and we know we're going to take a relatively decent small trade size because we're looking for such a big win. There's no need to make your year's worth of profit off this one trade. So if you take a small position on this trade and price does go against you, let's just get our arrow here. I hate that. So price cut does come all the way up here. Now you're in a losing trade. Well, this is a strong area of support, right? So just because you were wrong here, if you got the margin, and even if it comes all the way back up here, don't get discouraged. Don't kill yourself. If you pick the right position size here, you know you have this room. Now, it's scary, I know, and it's sitting there weighing on you, and if you pick too big of a position size and now your account's in trouble and you're just hoping, you probably should have closed it. But I'm telling you, work out your position size for the worst case scenario, but it doesn't mean you have to take the loss here. Now, if it shoots up, breaks a new high, you probably should take the loss. But let's say it did that. You're in this horribly, let's get rid of that. You're in this horribly, we opened it here. You're in this horribly gone wrong trade. You're not telling your friends. You're hiding this. Well, not if it's part of your trading system. Then I'll show you why. If we get up here again and it starts to show signs it's respecting this bearish zone on your daily, take another sell trade. I know we're adding to a losing position, and we are going against the rules of trading, and this will ultimately demise your account. All of that's true, what people are saying. Only if you let it get to you mentally. Only if you weren't prepared for this. But if you open this trade completely and utterly prepared that it could go against you, and you chose the right position size for that move, right? Let's just I don't know if I could grab it. Nope. All right. So you calculated that position size where if it did come up here, you're not in margin trouble. You're not in any trouble of blowing up your account. But now you're in defense mode, right? These rollover trades are typically not going to make you money. They're to buy out this bad decision you made down here. So it gets up here. It starts showing confirmation that it's respecting it. You sell from here. I'm trying to be as precise as I can. Now, I would tell you this rollover trade, you probably do want to set a stop loss. Maybe even a really tight one. even though price has jumped up here this one time, but you have a pretty good zone here, and you got a smaller time frame confirmation telling you. And let's just call a spade a spade. You're trying to buy out this trade. So let's not get greedy and go, oh, well, this is the time it's going to come all the way down. No. Typically, what I do in this scenario is I go halfway. I calculate what halfway to this break even here is, and I position this trade to where if it goes halfway there, I'm out of both break even. Easy math would be if you use the micro lot here, you use 2 micro lots here, and it moves halfway to it, you're going to get out of both. So that's kind of what goes on in my head. Why I don't necessarily set stops on the first trade, but on my rollover trades, typically I will. Sometimes I'll even do a series of 3 rollovers. And if the second one gets a little bit further against me, I let it go. Especially if I'm looking at a scenario like this where I have a really strong resistance area right here. And if I'm playing the markets down here and I'm wrong, I'll wait to see what it does here. I'll throw in another trade. But if I break a new high, I'll probably close both of these, take my loss, move on, and look for profits somewhere else. Now, let's talk take profits. We discussed a little bit about the rollover. We'll come back to that. So this is an overzealous take profit here, right? If we get this bounce, let's say none of this never happened, right? We got this bounce from here. Boom, we got in our sell trade, and now we are in profit. And let's say we get to this level and price starts to consolidate. This is a former support area, so we should expect price to do something there. Now, I've been known to just take my profit here. No one's going to kill you for taking money off the table. And quite honestly, Forex, if there's money on the table, take it. Don't feel bad about it. I know we're all taught, let it run, let your winners run, let them go to the promised land or whatever people say. And, let it run. I'll tell you what, some of my best weeks are when I'm taking base hits. And these are base hits. And let's go into the conspiracy theory a little bit. So, if this pulls up, you're in a profitable trade. We get to this support zone. Price is going to consolidate. It's going to try to shake you off here, right? So take your profit. Let it shake you off. Let it go sideways for a little bit. But come back to this pair, and when you get another break of this support, jump back in a new buy trade. So you took your profit. Bam, right? You're a winner. Now you see another break here. Bam. Where, maybe go to this former resistance zone out of the gate. Again, remember, this is the first trade, so we may not have a stop loss on this trade. Just keep playing this all the way down. When you see me on my Sunday setups, and I put a trade on that looks like this, or in my Telegram channel, you see me put a trade on like this. Doesn't mean I'm not closing this trade profit until it gets down here. All I'm looking for is a good chunk of profit, take it off the table, find another setup. I know I kind of want to be bearish on this pair until we get to this zone. So that's a quick snapshot in how I set my take profits and what my brain goes through when I'm thinking stop losses. Now, I always have a mental stop or an all-out stop on my entire portfolio, right? And I'm not a big stickler on I'm only going to risk 1% and I got to make 2% on every trade. So if I win 50% of my trades, I'm a winner overall. That may work for you. That may work for a lot of other traders, but we're trying to be too perfect. And it wasn't until I gave myself permission to not be perfect. And when you give yourself permission to not be perfect, and not set so many exact areas, you'll start to see the markets differently. You'll start to have the patience to let things go. Now, I will tell you, it takes experience. And don't do this on your live account until you have practiced thousands and thousands of trades on a demo and you have consistent results. You did not do rollover trades right out of the gate because everyone was telling me do not add to a losing position. But over time, I got comfortable, and I got comfortable with myself to be able to put in a small enough position size on that first trade to allow it plenty of room to go. And then when that play was over, put in another trade on that same pair, a little bit bigger position, possibly double or triple sized, and buy my way out of that trouble. If you practice this and get really good at it, you'll start to see the markets completely different, and you don't have to be so perfect. This is how I, a plumber, have been able to make a living out of trading these markets now. So if you got any questions or comments, throw them in the comments section below. I'm pretty sure I'll get lots of traders, if anyone watches this video, saying, oh my God, that is not how I trade. Well, good for you. But make sure, if you're going to criticize me, make sure you put some trade ideas out there for the world to see. All right. Have a great Saturday. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Make sure you come back to the channel and get on for my Sunday setups that I do every week. Don't forget to hit follow, like, subscribe, whatever. Just get on it. And if you think you can handle what I'm putting down here, go check out the podcast. It's called The Day Trading Plumber. I'd love your feedback. All right. Have a great weekend. And let's go make some money next week.